Alright guys, this is a long plane review for Milk Race on the AMSTRAD CPC, and yeah, basically guys, it's a cycling game, and yeah, it's a pretty strange title, Milk Race, but basically for many years in the UK, for nearly 35 years, the Tour of Britain cycle race was known as the Milk Race because it was sponsored by the government board for milk, which was the Milk Marketing Board, and they took over sponsorship of the Tour of Britain cycle race for, like I said, I think about 35 years. So yeah, a bit of a stupid name really, and I guess it was there to promote more people drinking milk. It's supposed to be good for you and your teeth and all that. No, I don't know. So yeah, this is from Mastertronic in 1987, and released to coincide with the race the same year to help sort of promote it, and a little bit of a cash in, but it was released on budget from Mastertronic. And here we go, here's the start of the race, and I'm the cyclist at the top there. And yeah, pretty simple controls, left and right sort of pedal, so you basically just hold down the right key to be always pedaling, up and down to move up and down the circuit, and firing up and down to change gears. You got like 12 gears, so you want to choose like gear 11 or 12 when you're going on a downhill slope, which is indicated by that sort of square icon in the top right corner of the status bar. And really guys, all you need to worry about is your energy level, which can be topped up by picking up milk bottles along the side of the road, and your position and how long you're taking. There you go, just picked up some milk there. Now, before I talk about any more about the game, this actually was a request from a fellow YouTube user, SPINNYFUCK, who did have a channel full of thousands of Spectrum games, some of them long plays, most of them gameplays, all of them. Well, actually, again, most of them had his commentary on there and his own review. And yeah, he asked me a week or two ago to have a look at this because he wanted to see what it looked like on the Amstrad. So I did it today, and to my shock and horror, I discovered that he's actually closed his YouTube channel now, which is a crying shame because literally many thousands of Spectrum videos have gone. All of them very entertaining, and I'm really sad to see he's decided to close his channel. And so I guess this video is kind of a fitting sort of farewell to Spinny from me. I kind of understand why he did. He talks a lot about politics and stuff in his reviews, specifically stuff about, well, like conspiracy theories and New World Order type stuff, if you want to lump it in that lazy generic sort of terms. But a lot of his views I've kind of researched myself and I kind of agree with. Not necessarily all the Illuminati stuff, but well, the world we live in is a very fucked up place, and we're basically ruled and governed by the multi-rich elite and the central banks and the globalists like Goldman Sachs and all those crooks and criminals on Wall Street. All these wars and terrorist type stuff happens for a reason, and it's not for the reasons you think they are, or at least the general population seems to think. and is force fed by the bullshit mainstream media, But hey, listen, I never sort of make political comments and all this kind of stuff on my YouTube videos. I have ways of having my outlets for that. I'm here to talk about games and games only, really. And I don't want to piss off anyone or spark off some like political argument or whatever. All I say, guys, go and do your research. There's plenty out there on the internet, and do it now before the internet as we know it gets changed, shut down, and our freedom on there is controlled, and it's happening as we speak, guys. But anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Like I said, go and do your own research. But I really enjoyed SPINNYFUCK's videos, and I'm really gutted he's gone, so I hope he likes this and he enjoys watching it. Oh, I've just crashed. So yeah, yeah, I'm pretty pissed off and down today about that, actually. But oh well, never mind. I get really sad, actually, and fed up when YouTube users close their channels, you know, after spending many years and uploading thousands of videos. I'm reminded of like Dentalux and the Real Local Maniac when he closed his channel initially and then came back. It's really sad, but you know, personal reasons and real life stuff gets in the way. I hope it never does for me, but I actually I've had to slow down with my videos recently. I've been very busy with you know, real life stuff. This is a fun little hobby for me, but I'm not going to let it interfere with, you know, the important day-to-day stuff. Geez, well, I've been rambling on for about 5 minutes and not really talked much about the game. So yeah, you get a nice little map there showing all the sections of the race. About 13 sections in total. Some are longer than others, so it's kind of the point of this game really is to sort of conserve your energy, choose the right gears, and make the right decisions. Well, really, that's what you're supposed to be doing, and I think you'll probably notice, guys, in my gear selections, which you'll see in the top right corner of the screen in the status bar, I pretty much stick on gear 8. I never really go down below that until there's like a downhill slope, and I might change up to gears 9, 10 or 11 or 12. Oh, I've just crashed again. It's a bit stupid, really. Because I think the I don't know whether the AMSTRAD version's slightly bugged or not. Like for example, you'll see various points will come to like an uphill section. Now move down the gears to like lower gears or whatever. Was it higher gears? Well, anyway, you know, like gears 4 or 5 or something like that. My energy's still like, you know, rapidly decreasing, as you would expect from going uphill, but speed goes down. It doesn't seem to make much of a difference if I just stick in gear 8 all the way, or move down to gear 4 for an uphill. Doesn't seem to make much of a difference. The other annoyance is that at some point, if you take too long perhaps, or you don't get a far enough position in the pack, it's game over. But he never tells you, what position you need to attain on a stage, or the time to beat for a stage, so you haven't got a clue. Which is pretty annoying. First run through trying to do this video, I just got randomly disqualified. I'm not getting a high enough rank. But yeah, there's no clue as to what rank you were supposed to achieve. Bit strange. But yeah, this is my second playthrough of this, and I completed it on that go, all the way through. No cheats or anything like that, of course. And I just stuck in basically like gear 8. And I found it pretty easy in the end. Oh, when the music changes, that means they're coming to the end of the stage. And we're going on to the next stage. which is stage 3, Halter Lincoln, which is about, is that 89 miles? It's not a long stage. But not much changes really, guys. You will notice that the background slightly changes. Sometimes you're cycling past trees and hills and stuff like that. Other times it'll be a city. Some really nice music though, from the ever consistently good David Whittaker. And programmed by a company called Icon Design. Don't know much about them. They did a few games for the Amstrad. Ninja, I think, being the most well-known one. Again, another Mastertronic release. In fact, pretty much all of them are Mastertronic, I think they did. One for Activision Championship Baseball. They did Barbarian for Melbourne House, not the Barbarian that most of us know, where it's a one-on-one chop 'em up. That was it was the Barbarian version, which is a very strange sort of side-scrolling platformer, which is driven by icons. You click to move and jump and stuff. Very strange game. I think Axelino or Metra did a long play of that very recently. But I don't know the actual programmers' names. But there's some interesting programming techniques going on within the game, actually. Some of you may be familiar with the modes that the AMSTRAD can use for its display. Mode 0 being sort of big chunky pixels, but lots of colour. Mode 1 being a higher resolution, smaller pixels, but only 4 colours. And they very cleverly split the game screen you see at the moment into different modes, which is quite tricky to do, but clever that they pulled it off. And you'll basically see that like the bottom section of the screen with the spectators, that's in mode 0. The main gameplay screen with the cyclist in the road, that's mode 1. So we get a sort of high resolution. The scrolling trees and hills and buildings, that's in mode 0, I believe, and mode 1 for the status bar at the top there. So yeah, that's pretty good stuff actually. We've got some sort of parallax scrolling sort of on the go as well. Which has a nice touch. And some decent sound effects as well. But really, sort of nothing really changes much between the stages. The only thing is, if you get too far at the back of the pack or too far forward, a car will drive across, which you'll have to avoid. Because I'm making really good progress here, we won't see the car till a bit later on, I think. Just to add a bit of spice to the game, I suppose. Potholes in the road you've got to avoid. And that's about it really. And of course picking up the milk at the side of the road. Can sometimes be awkward, as you've seen. I crashed a couple of times trying to pick up milk because I went too close to the curb. Controls for moving up and down are rather sensitive. But I'm not going to commentate throughout the whole game. This is the full game to the end and the completion. And then I leave the title screen music playing in full because it's slightly different to the main theme. Which is another David Whittaker composition, so it's pretty good stuff. Not his best work ever, but still a pretty good theme. But as far as cycling games go, this is the only cycling game I've ever played on the Amstrad, and first time playing it a couple of days ago, so guess it's pretty good. But nice sprites and animation on the cyclist, definitely. It moves and plays fairly well. Oh god, I keep crashing there. I'm stuck right at the back of the screen. Makes things a little awkward. Yeah, you can never knock the other cyclists over. They can quite easily sort of plough into you from behind and you get knocked over, but they carry on. They also cycle through potholes, which is rather annoying. It can't be perfect. But I can't think of if there's been any other cycle games on the Amstrad, but I'm just going to do a quick search on the CPC Power site. I've not found any so far. Well, I've just tried searching for cycling. Oh, maybe there's a Tour de France game or something like that. Oh, perhaps there may be another cycling game. Oh yeah, there's one called Tour de Force from Gremlin Graphics. Not heard of that one. And Tour 91 from Toposoft. I think that's a Spanish company. Graphics look alright for that actually. But I can't imagine other cycling games being that exciting, and this one really isn't. It's nicely done, I suppose, and for budget, which I guess at the time probably would have been a $1.99 release, so for a couple of quid. It's alright, especially if you're a cycling fan, but I did like cycling as a kid, but when I grew up and moved out my house with my parents, I never got another cycle. And the most gears I've ever used on a bicycle is 5 gears, so 12 gears is a bit alien to me, but why did it not pick up the milk there? Sometimes that happens, it's a bit annoying, but we got full energy. And yeah, see, we're on gear 12 on a nice downhill slope, and I've ended up right at the far end of the screen there. It's a bit dangerous. Could potentially be another cyclist coming on, or a pothole. So if you do, I'll stick right to the very bottom of the screen, or the top, and you're more likely to avoid a cyclist or a pothole suddenly appearing. But yeah, it's alright for what it is, I suppose. Yeah, you can have a 7 out of 10 from me, I think. Guess it's pretty competently done. So, and talking about cycling games, I'm forgetting probably all the BMX type games that was released. I guess Codemasters would probably be responsible for quite a few of them. I think it was BMX Simulator, the first real big release. That cemented Codemasters' position as the top budget house. Yeah, BMX Simulator 1 and 2, Freestyle BMX Simulator, Professional BMX Simulator, all from Codemasters. And Firebird released BMX Kids, Alternative Software BMX Ninja. Oh god, I think BMX Ninja, I think that was awful. BMX Ninja is one of the worst games I've ever played. Absolutely dreadful. But as for a proper cycling tour simulator, I think it's probably only this and Tour 91 from Toposoft, which is Spanish only anyway. So this probably leaves this as the only English version touring cycle simulator. So it's best of the bunch because there's no one else really competing with it. So yeah, I'm gonna leave things here for commentary. Like I said, I do occasionally do requests. I get flooded with a lot of them via email on YouTube and stuff, and you know, don't have a huge amount of time at the moment. And if I think the game's, you know, worthy of a long play, because I don't like to do just gameplay videos. If I'm going to do a video for my channel, generally now it's going to be a long play and a review. and I think the video is worth it, that people are going to be interested in watching it. It takes me a long time to do and I've got a very limited time, then yeah, I'll try and do your requests where I can. And next on the list is another request from my good friend Missile, which is Zapty Ball's Advanced Edition, which is a bit of a pan clone. But Zapty Ball's very, very good game. I'm sort of halfway through doing that. It's quite a tricky one. And I'll take a look at some of the requests I've been sent. So no promises if you do send me requests. But I thought it's fitting anyway to get this one done for SPINNYFUCK as a sort of a last farewell and tribute from me to him. So thanks for all the videos, SPINNYFUCK. I do hope you come back at some point in some shape or form. But yeah, so here we go, guys. This is Milk Race. Guess a 7 out of 10 from me. Hope you enjoyed watching and see you next time. Cheers. Bye.